All right, welcome everybody to the live chat. Just trying to get everything going here. Looks like we are live this time, so thank God for that. I got to kind of keep the noise down. The wife is asleep. Let me know if the audio is too low, and I'll fix the audio. But
Good news, everyone.
all right, let me just get this put in place. All right, let's see. In today's stuff, howdy, Ricardo. How you doing? Hope you're doing great. I got a few things here. Let me see. Just take a moment to get prepared here. All right, go back to this. There we go. All right, let's see. Get to some position. Okay, how come I can't do it? All right. Sadly, I didn't get a lot of time to model on that one we were working on, and just drew a blank on what all it was. But I'm going to get back to that this week. I was behind on this backroom stuff. I meant to start recording this week, but the modeling has taken forever, and I'm going to show you here in a little bit what that looks like. I've got several scenes set up and everything just for the recording, but they've taken a while to model. The canteen scene, which I sent pictures to y'all on, you and Leslie, and I think I sent the pictures of the canteen and the control room. I don't remember if I got the control room sent to you, Ricardo. Let me see. Did I ever send that pic? If not, I'll post it here. Oh yeah, I got the Mars bar model. That didn't take long. That was just a few minutes last night. But yeah, I'm thinking of putting a whole package of that up in the cabinets and maybe stick some in the refrigerator. I've been looking for stuff to okay, you got the canteen one. Did you get the control room? I'm looking through the chat, see if I sent that to you on the control room. I don't see it, but I'll get that to you. The control room came out pretty good, and we'll look at it live too. But that's, that'll be a little later on. We want to get to the Mars stuff, and there's a lot of news. I don't know if y'all have heard the news. The James Webb Telescope. Oh, let me switch over now. I'm so unprepared. Here we go. Oh. Chat fade over here. Here we go. Let's see. Okay, let's close this down. Not everybody needs to see that. Okay, that's what I was doing. Let's see. Oh, the Mars quakes and helicopter. I know it's right here. Okay, I don't know if y'all have been checking the news, but usually go to space.com. This is BBC News, and there was I got hit with that meteorite, just a tiny little meteorite. I think it was a couple of millimeters in width, just some space debris, and actually damaged one of the mirrors. And I guess the damage to that mirror is to the one mirror. Now there's several mirrors on it, but is pretty significant for that one mirror, and they say it's going to affect the image quality a little bit. But I mean, I forget how many mirrors on that darn thing. There's a whole lot, so it's not going to affect it that much. Let's see. We can count here. 1, 2, 3, 6, 79, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. Yeah, 18 mirrors. Okay. But, and I'm not sure which one got damaged. But, yeah, I was looking at that. I was like, oh, man, brand new telescope. And already getting hit by stuff. And So I hope that's not a sign of things to come. Hopefully that's just, one of those things that happen. But I was reading that. Right, exactly. Like I say, with 18 mirrors, you get one that's damaged. It's not a big deal, but hopefully, like I say, there's not a lot of debris in that area where they placed it. What is it? The L2 area, or what they call the L2. It's out in that area, which should be away from most of our debris. I think most of the satellites we have that look at Earth are in L1 orbit, so probably not going to be a major thing. I just hope that it's not. Oh, C3 got hit. There we go. Should have read the whole article. I've been real busy. But yeah, it's just sad that happened. But oh well, and maybe in one of the future missions they could probably replace that segment if they really needed to. But like you said, I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal in the overall picture. I mean, it's still going to be really clear and clearer than probably what Hubble is able to do, even with that one mirror damaged. Yeah, they're showing this mirror right here, that one there. But to cancel, okay, portion of the introduced distortion, but they can't remove it all. Oh, okay. So it won't be quite as clear, but it'll still be pretty clear. I don't know if there is any more on this. But that was the one thing I read this week. The other thing, and definitely want to get into that. Let's see. No, the Mars breaks. I'll wait for a minute. Let's see. Move this down now so I can see. It's the planets. Ah, yeah. And here's the other bad news. So I guess NASA's having some bad news this month. But the Ingenuity helicopter, which is already, I mean, it was only supposed to go for 5 flights. But lost my chat. I hate that. I need one more monitor. But they got 2 problems. One is with the directional sensor. What was that thing called? I read that. Let's see. Adapter. Where is? I know it's a directional sensor, but what was it? Yeah, the navigational sensor. Basically, they're going to have to work around to see where the helicopter is going so they can, plan its flights. And that thing helps it avoid obstacles and stuff. And I was like, yeah, that's a recipe for disaster. But there's supposed to be backup systems on it. So I don't know what they're going to use to do that. But the other problem is, let me bring this over and let's zoom in. Can I zoom in anymore? No, not really. That's as far as I can. Is dust is accumulating on this, on the solar panels on top. Now, these guys are brilliant engineers, and I really don't understand why they haven't created some way to remove the dust. Now, once again, originally it was only supposed to fly for 5 flights. It's they call it a demonstration model or something, or a what was it? But a proof of concept, basically, that it's actually possible to fly in the thin atmosphere of Mars. Now, once again, I'm not so sure that the atmosphere is as thin as they're claiming it to be, but at the same time, even if it is, the point was that they could prove that that you were able to do rotary flight on Mars. Now, interestingly enough, with winter coming on in the northern hemisphere where Ingenuity is, the air, they actually say, is getting thicker because colder air is heavier than warm air. And yeah, I wish I could zoom in more, But if you look at this left side of the solar panels, you can see there's dust accumulating on that one side, and the right side is the only side that's relatively clear. I wish I could get in closer. It just won't let me zoom in anymore. Oh, I know how. I have my magnifier tool. Here we go. So you can see the dust accumulating, especially on this left side and in the middle. And the problem is, going into winter, they have to they have heaters on board to heat the instruments and keep them from freezing, and that's drawing some power. So they're not going to be doing any flights. And I would think with those wide legs on this thing, let's see. Let me scroll all of this down. Oops. Come here. Oh, you can't get rid of the header. Darn. But with these wide legs, let's say that a dust devil did come by, and that was another thing that I was reading this week, that in Jezero Crater, it is one of the windiest places on Mars, and there's at least 4 dust storms a day. I was like, 4 a day? We get a lot of wind here in El Paso, and it's bad. But I mean, and we get some pretty strong winds. Just yesterday or day before, it was just really bad. Dust blowing. I mean, and it was all day and into the night. NASA needs to take a hint from motocross and MTA and get some kind of roll-off kit for the solar panels like the riders have for their goggles. Yeah, exactly. Could a dust devil pick up and carry? Well, that's what I was going to say. With all these dust devils, you know, that thing is very light. How many kilograms was it? It wasn't very heavy for sure. I read that somewhere. I think it was in this article. But at least I would think if it can't pick it up and carry it away, it might, you know, knock it over if a dust devil comes right over it. I always hit that. I got to get one of those desk stands for the microphone, but I don't know where to put it. I don't know if you can see my desk here. Let's see. But it's really, really close. It has so much stuff on my desk for audio and everything. But, yeah, Ricardo, I don't know if a dust devil would pick that thing up. You know, oops, adjust that again. But yeah, I was reading that and I was like, oh, you know, that thing, it's hard to believe it's been on Mars just over a year. 419 or 20 sols? But either way, even with the navigation sensor being down and the dust covering the solar panels, I don't think they're going to fly again until spring. Hey, Leslie Ann, you did make it. All right. Yeah, great to see you. But yeah, that was another thing. Now, here's something, and I don't know, I'm sure somebody has drawn this conclusion already. And, oh, go back to the top. I thought it was at the top. Okay. Now, this was obviously before, this was back in April of this year, that they were talking about the 2 major earthquakes, one being 4.2 and one being 4.1. And then we just had, was it June 4th? We had that 5.0 earthquake. Or when was that? I think it was June 1st. But we're seeing a lot of seismic activity on Mars. And I know that NASA says there's no plate tectonics on still on Mars. And I'm just reading the comments real quick. And I've got a map I want to show you, and I'll explain how this might affect these earthquakes. Now, earthquakes don't just need to be caused by tectonic activity. There's actually another way that that seismic activity can exist on a planet, and we do see that here on Earth somewhat with tidal waves and stuff like that. And let me just bring up this map to show you. Okay. So this is, as of today, this is the planetary alignments. Mars is right here. Okay, you've got Mercury, Venus, Jupiter, Saturn, and Neptune. All of these planets in alignment. Hey, I'm in the middle of a video. Well, a live chat. Here, hurry up, because I'm in the middle of a live chat. Hurry up. They want my soda. All right. Okay, so in fact, if you look up at the night sky, they're saying right now, you will actually see all these planets come up one at a time. Obviously, starting with Mercury, you'll see them come up on the horizon one at a time. You can see all these planets that are in alignment. And we're here, and then Mars is here. Oh, I gotta bring my chat back up. That's why I need 3 monitors. Did you know Earth's rotation has... Yeah, I saw an article on that. Was it Science Today? Somewhere where they're talking about that now the planet should be slowly decreasing in its speed. But something is causing the planet to slowly speed up. Like you say, it's only a few 100 milliseconds. But something is causing our rotation to speed up. And I read that last week or week before. I don't remember when, but I remember reading about that. I was like, well, that's kind of strange, because it should be slowing down, just, you know, because it's losing inertia as it goes around, just slowly losing that inertia. But anyway, what my point is that next to Mars, obviously, you have Jupiter. Now, that is a massive planet with a huge gravity. Girls. Huge gravity. And the effects of Jupiter's gravity actually extends out to Earth too. We get some of the effect of that. Well, right now they're relatively close together, and they have been, you know, for the last few months for sure. And then you also have Saturn coming up on the other side of Mars. Now, the effects of the gravity from Jupiter and then Saturn also can pull on the core of the planet and actually displace magma inside the planet. And we've seen more volcanic eruptions lately. Well, they're not actually erupting, but they're spewing steam in some of these volcanoes on Mars. This gravity from Jupiter also can affect the volcanoes here on Earth. That's how massive this gravity well is. That pull from Jupiter is massive. And I'm wondering if this increase in the strength and the amount of earthquakes has to do with Jupiter while it was passing by. And now that it's out in front, maybe we'll start to see those earthquakes get less and less. But I'm wondering if the gravity from Jupiter affected the magma inside the core that much to where it was causing these earthquakes, and like I say, causing the volcanoes to spew. No, you haven't missed much, Leslie Ann. We're just talking about the gravitational pull from Jupiter maybe causing these earthquakes, at least Mars quakes, I should say. At least making them stronger right now, because we've seen an increase. Back in April, we saw a 4.2 and a 4.1, and then in June we saw the 5.0, and it's like, okay, if there's no tectonic activity, maybe there's another force that's causing these earthquakes. Now, I'm not so sure there's no plate tectonics on Mars. All right, good job, honey. But is this? Well, this right here. Make sure I'm on the right. Yeah. Okay. This is the planetary map as of today at 11:06 is when I snagged this. I don't know if there's a more up-to-date one. I haven't looked, but where did I find this? Theplanetstoday.com. But yeah, you've got all these planets in alignment, and maybe that's causing these earthquakes if there's no tectonic activity, which once again, I believe there's probably some tectonic activity on Mars still, but maybe there's not as much as here on Earth right now. Maybe the plates are set pretty well, but something is causing those earthquakes. Right, exactly. Oh, you said yes, I understand. I believe all planets are affected by others. Well, yeah, I mean, the gravity, like I say, the gravity from Jupiter extends at least out to Earth, and I would imagine it extends out farther because we feel effects from Jupiter's gravity. I believe there's activity on Mars. If you're talking about tectonic, yeah, I think so too. If you're talking about life, I once again think so too. I think we've seen enough evidence, and I'm going to show you one. This was found, and I know I'm going to butcher his name, but over on Joe White's Mars Magazine page, his name is Shokri Aish, and I'm pretty sure I butchered that. Sorry if I did. But this was pretty cool, and that's why I titled this live chat what I did. But I'm going to show you that here in just a second. Okay, do I need to bump up the audio? Make sure everything's plugged in good. You never know when the girls come and mess with something. I checked it on the meters. It's pretty loud there. Okay, so I need to bump up the master volume. Let's see, is that... Okay. Oop, that's going to redline. That's going to clip. Okay. And I am having to keep it down somewhat. The wife's got to go to work here at 5, so she's asleep right now. The audio goes a bit weird. Yeah, I know. This, if I get over here or turn this way, is a very directional mic, and I put my headset in, but my cord's going bad from my headset. I used the headset on the one live chat and didn't realize the cord was bad, and my wife told me, she says, that cord is bad. I'm going to have to order you a new cord, and we just haven't gotten around to it. So I'll try not to move away from the mic, and if I touch this thing, you hear all the little movements. In fact, I was going to bump down. Where is it? Did I turn those down? Yeah, I turned them down. Because part of it was the reverb was it just made it when you hit the mic stand, it just made an awful noise of like, oh my gosh. And I tried keying them out in DaVinci, and I just couldn't get rid of those noises. All right, but yeah, I'll try to stay in front of the mic as much as possible. But when I say cuckoo, I don't mean any offense. See, I gotta move over here with the whole thing. Just that some people view the horoscopes as a bunch of nonsense, but the effects of planets and their alignments is real. And that is actual astrology, right? Yeah. Has fact. Well, yeah. All the ancients, they studied the stars. They knew that all these alignments had significance. They knew that anytime that there was a celestial event, it had effects on Earth. So, yeah, the movement of the planets and their positions have a lot to do. That's why astrology, it's not just cuckoo stuff. There's some actual, well, I'd say science behind it, but scientists will tell you there's not. But but there's actual research and evidence that went behind them. They didn't just build these temples to gaze at the beautiful stars. They were tracking the planets and the stars to help predict when major events were going to happen, like tsunamis and stuff like that. So they were very interested in the movement of the planets, the alignment of the stars, everything. And that's how we know a lot about the 12,000 year cycle. I think it's actually 11,700, but we'll round it up to 12. But the 12,000 year cycle. Okay, this pillow is slid down. I have a back pillow in it. That's why I keep moving. Okay, maybe that's better. But yeah, so I think that these earthquakes that we saw on Mars, these more massive earthquakes, which I know by Earth standards they're not massive at all, but they're significantly stronger than anything we've seen in the last few years. I think it was 2 or 3 years or 4 years. However many years. I read a lot this week when I wasn't modeling. Okay, I want to look at, see if I get to the right one. Where are you? There you are. Let's see. Once again, I'm sure I'm butchering his name, but Shokri Aish over at Mars Magazine actually found this on in a Gigapan by Joe White on 751, and this thing right here, that does not look natural at all. I'm going to point out some stuff before I take you into the model on this one, but let's take a look at this real quick before we go into the model. Whatever this is, it looks metallic. And by the way, there's something right here. I modeled that. And there's a piece right here. And this looks like it has this same dome on it. And I want you to look at this. You see this line from this rock or whatever it is? It comes up. And you can actually see it through the dome. I think this is some sort of glass material. That's what I was going to look up. Is anybody out there Star Trek fans? Oh, that is Art Alien TV, Joe White, and it's a Facebook page. Okay. This is Joe White's Facebook page. Excuse me. Art Alien TV, Mars Magazine. It's really cool. All his findings, and I hope he doesn't mind me showing his Facebook page on here. He shouldn't, but everything from different researchers that are looking at his Gigapans. He uploads his Gigapans. All these guys are in there, and when they find stuff, they post it here on Mars Magazine. And this is just one, and then I have, what is that? Mars Revealed? No, go back to full. Oh gosh, don't tell me I messed up, man. Okay, here we go. Oh, he liked my comment. But anyway, yeah, these guys find stuff like this right here. This is what I posted a comment on. This thing looks like, see all these squares right here? Here's one square, and it's not perfect. It is bowed out at the side, almost like the shape of a boat, except the front is pretty flat. It'd be like a skiff if it was a boat. But on the back of this thing, this looks like an engine. Can I go into the full picture? Nope. Okay. It actually looks kind of like an engine. There's even a part, an oval part that comes out back here, and then there's like a cylinder that sticks out here. I may model this and put it up there. But you can see this is a cube that comes down. There's actually a cube in front of it, different material. And by the way, this oval is a different material. It's very similar to this. This actually, it looks like a boat with a big motor on it, like a skiff, because this front comes down at an angle like this. Let's see. I see a starfish type shape in the upper right of the R2. Oh, okay. Hang on. I'll go back to that just a second. Hey, Lynn, welcome to the chat. By the way, I thought I saw Ricardo send you a greeting. Let's see. Yeah, I mean this could be just Ricardo. You said it's hard to know without scale, and yeah, I mean this thing could be something that fits in the palm of your hand. But like I usually say when I do these models, I'm just modeling the shape of what I see and trying to guesstimate. Sadly, NASA does not give us the data anymore. There used to be, at the bottom of the images themselves, the bottom right corner, there used to be a scale, so that you could, kind of get an idea, depending on how far something was back in the image, you could see exactly how big or small these items were. And like I say, this could be huge, it could be tiny, but just looking at the shape, see this circle right here in the front, and it's a little bit obscured by this. I mean, it kind of looks like an engine, I don't know if it is. And like I say, this kind of has a boat shape because it's bowed on this side, and of course we can't tell if it is on this side. But whatever it is, I don't think it's a rock. Now it might be encrusted. Hey, hi. It might be encrusted, but it doesn't look like a rock because this front comes down at an angle. All right, sweetie. So I don't know, but back to where are you here? Starfish to the top right. What? Where'd it go? Where'd it go? There it is. Somewhere here, those actually look like legs. Now, if you're talking about right here, it's so blurry. And is this my enhanced? Yeah, this is the enhanced one. This was after enhancement. Yeah. Yeah, they never give scale. Exactly. Right. Let me try. Yeah, you said, Leslie Ann, that they tried to ridicule Joe over some of his work. They all the time are ridiculing him, not just NASA, but obviously non-followers of his work. He gets so much backlash. I love the guy because he doesn't care about the backlash. He's gonna soldier through it no matter what. But zoom out a little. Okay. Here. Starfish. Yeah, I was looking for that. I hate the delay on here because I was to say, let me know when I get close to it. But there's a cylindrical piece here. There, where I'm pointing right here. It's gonna take a few seconds for the reply to come through. I hate that part, the delay, but yeah, you deal with it. You just have to deal with it. And I tried to. No, he did. He was. Oh yeah, he's been in several papers. He's newspapers. He's been on TV too. I think it was on BBC and somewhere else. Where was it? It wasn't on Ancient Aliens, was it? Someone I was looking at this last week. They actually had a spot on Ancient Aliens, and I was trying to find it. I think it was Joe. But anyway, oh yeah, I admire it. The guy, he's rock solid in his stuff. Now, he sees a lot of faces, and most of the time, by the time he gets through pointing them out, I see those faces too. But there's sometimes it might be a little iffy on what the object is. But that mural that he showed inside that cave, and gosh, I should have brought that one up. That is really fascinating. I'm not sure if it's an actual mural or those are statues. Some of them look like they could actually be carved out, and some of them look like they could have been painted. I forget which one that was, but that was a very good video. I was like, wow. And I said I should actually model that cave and put that painting, that mural in there. Yeah, exactly, Leslie. And that mural was just amazing. Yeah, all of who's that? Ricardo. Yeah, all of his stuff is definitely genuine. He doesn't try to pull the wool over your eyes, you know, like that. What's that channel, Mr. Daniels or something? It's like I watched some of his videos. In fact, I worked on recreating how he did that. Not that I want to post a video recreating it, but I wanted to know if I was right. And I said before I thought he was just how did I say before? But anyway, what I found out he's doing is he's layering one image on top of the other. The image on the bottom is whatever he wants to come through, and then he's zooming in real close. At least that's what I was able to recreate. And then he's using the eraser tool and getting in real fine on there and erasing around the top layer, so that artifact, like that one he had where there was an engine or something, a jet engine on Mars. And I was like, okay. And I said, okay. That wasn't the one I did. I did the one where he had this big vase or something that was laying on the ground, and it was an actual NASA image on the top layer. And then he had this huge, very detailed, vase, vase or vase, however you want to pronounce it, underneath. And then he just real fine went in there with an eraser tool around the edges and just erased the top layer around it, and then blended the bottom layer with some a little bit of Gaussian blur and feathering on the edges, and you get a pretty decent looking image that way. But his problem is he doesn't worry about shadowing or anything like that. Sometimes the shadows don't match up, and sometimes the blur doesn't match up when he does that. The blur you can sometimes see is different on the object he's trying to point out and the stuff around it. C1 was a craft. Was that the one that was sitting there and it looked like the dead humanoid was it was kind of leaning to the left on that one? If it was that one, I thought about modeling that one. I never got around to it. That was a while ago. That was a good one. Oh yeah, definitely, Leslie Ann. The vegetation. I've done was it 3 videos now on the plants on Mars. The only one I haven't done, which he brings out the color and everything, are those big, they look like giant tomatoes, but he's suspecting they're probably some sort of gourd or something, and there's a bunch of them in a field, and he says these are very large. It was taken from a satellite photo, and he did I think he did 2 videos on it actually, but he at least did 1 video on that, and it was fantastic. I thought, well, I might have to model some of those with the terrain and everything to show what those are, because you can actually see the stem coming out of some of those and going down in the ground. So that was really interesting. Yeah, I don't know if they were tomatoes, Ricardo, or what, but like Joe said, they could be tomatoes or they could be some huge gourd, and they're big enough where you could actually, someone could go inside of them. Like, geez, those are huge. And there's a bunch of them. It's not just one that's isolated. It's like, I don't know, 30, 40 of them at least. I don't remember. There was a bunch of them in that one area. Yeah, if I could find the link here. Let me see. That was... How long ago was that? Give me just a second. I will look that up, because that is really worth watching. Oh, I hate when I do that. Go to YouTube and look it up. I accidentally looked it up on Google. Okay, let's see. Because the actual thumbnail for the video actually has those plants on there in color. If I find them. Hey, here they are. Mars plants confirmed. I think this is the one. Does it go back farther? Let's see if that's it. Now let me turn off the sound so I don't get dinged by YouTube. But I think it's this one. Let me see. Brings back in. There we go. Let's see. Yeah. Okay. Now this was posted how long ago? Probably have to zoom out of full screen, but he actually shows these. Yeah, March 1st. Hopefully this is the right one, because he's got a couple of videos on it. But yeah, that's the one plant. That's the coral. But let's see, because I know. Yeah, this is just. Oh, there they are. Okay. Yeah. Start right here. See these big red plants? And there's a bunch of them. Okay, there's a little bit zoomed in. Yeah, I mean, this video, there's another video where it was taken before that. I don't know if it was a plant or not. Of course, NASA's never said, but that one that has all the little things out that he was showing in the beginning. Here we go. Mars giant veg plants with a question mark. Oh my gourd. There you go. But that's the original video there. And yeah, these things, where's my hover zoom? Can I move it across? No, can't move it across to the new one. Let's see. Put this in theater mode. There we go. Yeah, take a look at this. I mean, and of course he's colorized this, so the colors may not be real, but these look like giant leaves. You can even see this, you know, the valley part of it where it comes down. Some of these you could actually see a cylindrical root or whatever going into the ground. This was very fascinating. I was like, I watched that video a couple of times. Let's see if he shows anything. Oh, I'll bring my chat back up. Let's see. Yeah, exactly. In fact, the roots seem to go into the ground on some of these. Hopefully he shows that in this video. In the first video, he actually showed that. Oh, yeah. I agree with that. Every culture makes alcohol. Oh, yeah. But, okay, let's see. Does he talk any? Oh, here's, okay, yeah. Okay, here's the original image, non-colorized. And, okay, give me one with where you can actually see the root going in the ground.
Hi, Daddy.
Hi. Hold on, take off the hover zoom a minute. Some of these, like I said, you could see where it literally looked like these roots going in the ground. But yeah, this one, and then the original video on this was really, really cool. No, you can't really see it there. Just the angle, we're looking straight down at these, so when they do come out, it'd be this dark part. You'd have to go through and enhance the image. But this would be cool to model these. And they look like giant tomatoes. I mean, the shape of them is just almost exact. Well, and I think he talked about that because they're all in just this one area, so it might be a giant farm or something. But imagine all of these could feed, you know, probably a couple of hundred people per day. It depends on how fast these things grow. But Jack's beanstalk went all the way to Mars. Hell yeah. But yeah, this was a great find, and I don't know if anyone else has actually touched on this. He's the only video I've seen on this. All right, tell her good job. Thank you, sweetie. That's my children. But yeah, I wish if I get time, I want to do that one. What's this one? Plants and protein. Okay, this is of the same gourds or tomatoes or whatever. Here we go. Is this where? I'm sure he's going to zoom in, but I see what I think. Is this that root coming out? This might be one right here. They come out. Here's one over here. Same thing. Yeah, you kind of see that one right there. Honey, I'm in the middle of the video. She wants my Gatorade. Let's see. But yeah, you kind of see these, they're darker than the leaves. Alright, thank you. See how dark they are? And it goes down. You can see where it goes into the ground right here. Let's see. Same thing right here. And this one looks like it curves back a little bit and maybe goes in the ground right there. Martian pumpkins. Yeah, maybe I should go back and color them a little more orange like pumpkins. Put some texture in them. Right, Leslie Ann, just like eggplants. Yeah, exactly. So maybe this is something similar to that. But, you know, I don't think Mars is as dead as people believe it. Well, the normal people. I mean, we know better, but I don't think it's as dead. In fact, where did my article go? There was something about possibility of bacterial life on Mars once again in the news. Where was that? Should be under my... Where did it go? It's not under these. Let's see... Here. Nope, it's not there. Give me a second, I'll see if I can find it. Here. Helicopter. Is it this one? No, that's just about that. Let's see. It's one of these. Oh, Science Today. That's yeah. Okay. That's the Mars quake. So back up to the main page. Yeah. Here it is right here. This is in Science Daily. And bacterial cellulose, so I can say that really. Big word. Could enable microbial life on Mars. It was talking about that. And let's see. What was the main thing I wanted to get out of this? Oh, the kombucha bacteria. That's what it was. I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right, but let's see. Let's see. The kombucha cultures under Mars-like conditions. Of course, it's known as a drink. It's like a tea fungus or mushroom tea, which is produced by fermenting sugared tea using kombucha cultures, a symbiotic culture of bacteria and yeast. Although the simulated environment destroyed the microbial ecology of the kombucha cultures, surprisingly, a cellulose-producing bacteria species. Big words. I can talk. A cellulose-producing bacterial species survived. And then I got into. I just read this just a few minutes before I got on, so I was reading it quick. Yeah, well, Chris has stated this many times. Leslie said, yes, heard of this bacteria, LOL, only this life form. Oh, actually, I read that wrong. But, where was it? Yeah, they don't want you to know. That's what I was reading that in the other one. Of course, they don't want you to know that there might be any complex life on any of these planets. And Chris has stated this several times. They're probably going to start with something like bacteria or something very simple that won't scare people because they're afraid of us being shocked or scared if we find out that there's people just like us on Mars. Oh, Ricardo says hi. I didn't know you were on. Yeah. Let's see. There is... Oh. Let me... Yeah, this is interesting, and I'll hopefully read more on this. I still want to get that news segment stuff going. It's just everything going on. I just haven't got around to doing it. I got everything modeled for that and ready. Of course, there's some... I still don't know what to put on the background of that, and I'll bring that back up here in a bit. But this is what I wanted to point out. On this image from 751 Curiosity, this looks like a glass dome. See this rock that's behind it? If you follow these lines, you can actually see this through the dome. Now I can zoom in on this because this is a snip that I took of it. Look at these lines. There's actually a faint line going right here. You can actually see it looks like it goes through. And this looks like a glass dome. Now that's what I was going to ask. Is anybody here a Star Trek fan? If you are, you might have heard of this material before, and this is an actual material. Let me see. I'll give you all a few seconds for it to show up, the response show up on here. If I can spell it right. Is this the article on it? Okay, let me go back to the chat. Yes, I am. Okay, and which one was it? The second one? There was a voyage home. Third one. Remember, Scotty was to get some to make a trade for the, was it plexiglass or something? He was going to give the guy the formula for transparent aluminum, and at the time, you know, people thought, it's just something they made up. But yeah, but it's actually, in fact, Roddenberry, I believe it was him who got wind of this, that a company was working on this, and the company's name was Cermet, and this is them, and they make aluminum oxynitride, which is transparent aluminum. They actually, in one of the articles I read, they actually go through a basic description of how this is made, but you can see it right here, and it's got nearly the same properties as glass. It has an IOR, which is an index of refraction. We use that a lot in modeling, so I know a lot about IORs. Like glass is 1.450, I think, for glass. But this transparent aluminum has almost the same index of refraction that glass has. The difference being, it doesn't allow as much ultraviolet or infrared light to come through. The wavelengths on the ultraviolet and the infrared are not as broad as they are for visible light. But this stuff is super strong, and the military is actually using this now. I believe they're actually using it at the time. This is many years ago. I first caught wind of this. I started researching on transparent aluminum. It was still a proposal, but I believe that now they're actually using this, and the stuff is super strong. They have a video. Where's it gonna be? Let's see, where they take a piece of bulletproof glass, which is polycarbonate sandwich. Well, glass. Yeah, polycarbonate sandwich. Well, glass, I should say, sandwiched between layers of polycarbonate, and the more layers you make it, the thicker it is. And they had a, was it 2-inch? Is either 1.5 or 2-inch piece of bulletproof glass, polycarbonate, and they had it was less than half the size. So if it was 2-inch of the bulletproof glass, and then it was like 1 inch of the aluminum oxynitride, and they took a 50 cal rifle, and they had a dummy head behind it, and they actually showed this in the video. Let's see. That's it for the way of. And they actually took and put a dummy head behind it, and they fired the 50 cal at the bulletproof glass, and it went through. It slowed down, and they were using obviously a high-speed camera, so you could see the bullet fly, and you can see how it distorts and everything as it hits the glass, and then it hits the dummy head and knocks it over and shatters it. Then they took the transparent aluminum and did the same thing, and this stuff was like, I think it was a little less than half as thick as the bulletproof glass, and it stopped it. It shattered it. It cracked it, not shattered it, but I mean there were spider cracks everywhere, but it stopped it. A 50 cal. I was like, geez. And stuff like pistols just bounce right off it, don't even crack it. I think even an AK barely splintered it at all, or I don't remember about, but they showed different weapons, and when they got to that 50 cal and showed that, I was like, geez, that stuff is amazing. Yeah. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because if this is some sort of missile, and by the way, this is our model of it and the stuff around it, and I'm going to go ahead and drop these down. Oh, grabbed the wrong thing. How did I do that? There we go. This is the stuff that's surrounding it. If this is some sort of weapon, then the transparent aluminum would probably be something that they do there. But whether it's glass or transparent aluminum, it literally looks transparent right here. This whole dome looks transparent. Yeah, bet the Pope has it as a bulletproof glass in his on his crazy car. Probably so. They actually are. They were upgrading our Humvees. The military was upgrading our Humvees with the transparent aluminum. And there's a guy out there at Waco Tanks. Excuse me. There was a guy out there at Waco Tanks that does a lot of contracting for the military, and he was the one who let me know about this, actually. I hope I can talk about this. He had a piece of bulletproof glass where they were demonstrating the bulletproof glass, and he actually had a piece about this big of transparent aluminum. And because somehow we got in a conversation one day, and he says, "Oh, let me show you something." And so he had got a sample piece of the transparent aluminum, and he had it there at his, he owns a gun range with the military and the border patrol and the police use up there in the Waco Tanks area. And he said, "You see that right there?" He said that was shot multi-times with an AK-47. I was like, okay. He said, "You see this piece right here? This was also shot with the AK-47. And I mean, there were little chips in it where the bullets hit, but it was not shattered. And it was, like I said, I think about half as thick as a piece of bulletproof glass. And this piece of bulletproof glass that he had come off of a Humvee, a military Humvee. And he was telling me that the military is actually upgrading to all of theirs to transparent aluminum. And this was 4 or 5 years ago. No, Jenny and I have been together longer than that. So 6, 7 years ago, somewhere like that. He was telling me about that. So they probably already done it. But so yeah, I don't know if this is a weapon or it could be a robot. If you look at this right side of it, my 3D cursor's in the way. Let me move my 3D cursor. Hey, come here. Oh, it helps if I hit the right button. I kind of, at first I thought these were rocks behind this object. But then when I looked at it, you can see this one down here is the same shape as this piece right here. And then there's a square piece going across the bottom of this that connects one to the other. So this is kind of what I modeled, and I sent a picture to, I'll butcher his name again, sorry, Shokri Aish. I sent it to him. He says, yeah, you know, that's kind of what it looked like. But see that? They kind of have the same shape, and they have this little piece, if you look real close. Now, the detail is not there, but you can see these little pieces sticking out on the side of this. And it kind of, see, let me move this down, angle. Okay. You kind of see these ridges in here. So that's kind of what I model. I don't know if they're 100% accurate. And I thought this was part of it, but as I look closer, and in fact as I did this is a burn I did of the original image. It kind of looks like this is some, now I don't want to say rock because it looks symmetrical, but this is a different object that's sitting behind this one. You can see this face that's kind of facing towards us, coming at you at an angle like this. That is actually, you can see how it goes down and behind this object. So I don't think, originally I thought it was attached to like this part right here, but I'm pretty sure now that this is actually something behind it. Plus it almost, but not quite, lines up with these lines going this way. Yeah, Leslie, and you said it looks like, I think the war was between AI and us, like being yeah, well, I think AI was definitely involved. I think it was two different cultures, whether on the same planet or on the planet that became the asteroid belt, because I think that one was a planet. There's enough debris in the asteroid belt that could have been a pretty good sized planet. And my personal belief is there were two planets, and some call it Tiamat, and what's the other name for that planet? I always remember Tiamat, because that's normally what I use for the term for it. But I think that Mars and that planet battled it out, or it was two different societies or cultures on Mars battling it out. But I definitely think machines were involved, AI was involved. We've seen parts. In fact, Chris did a video on this, and then Joe just posted a video not long ago, or at least I saw it not long ago. I think it was a recent video. What looks like a computer that's busted open, laying on the ground. I mean, it literally looks like a computer case, and then in front of that is the innards of something. It's definitely not natural. It's definitely something that looks like electronics or mechanical that's sitting in front of it. To me, it looks like a computer. In fact, the one, even Dave Gannett over at Mars X3D did an X3D of that one that's sitting in front of the rock. Man, I had to find that one. Actually looks like a computer case. Let's see. Let me see if I find that one. Give me just a second here. Because he's done 2 videos on it now where he showed that. Let's see. Videos. I may not find it because I don't remember what the thumbnail looked like. You know what, let me just bring this over while we're looking at this. Okay, I remember this one because I actually modeled that piece. Oh, bring my chat back up. Yeah, Leslie Ann says, I think inhabited Medes. Mars is our future. If we go to AI, I saw many robot-like metal androids on some of these Gigapans. Yeah, we found lots of strange stuff like that looks like robotic parts. Anyone remember the head on Mars that, I mean, literally looks red? That was the color that actually came out. It was painted red. Was that found by Joe, or who was that found by? But it looked like a robot head, and it was relatively clear. Of course, I won't find this now, but I know that he did a video on it. I don't think it was this far back. The piece was sitting in front of a larger rock. It's kind of in the shade. It's a cubic shape. It's kind of tall. It's thin on both sides. And the front actually curves around like this. And right to the right of that is this like wedge shape block or whatever. And I don't think that was what the thumbnail was. Yeah, the you're talking about that C-3PO head on the moon. Yeah, that one looked pretty cool also. Yeah, that one looks like a gun emplacement. Oh, of course I won't find the video now that I want it. He did 2 videos that covered that. But I don't remember him. Oh, that's right. That's where I got the idea for that video to call it Marvin's Atomic Picky Part. I forgot he did these on it. Okay, Marvin moments. And he had Marvin the Martian. That's why I looked for an image of. That's where I got that from. I couldn't remember what gave me the idea to do the video Marvin's Atomic Picky Part. Yeah, it's not this far back. Dang. Can't be that long ago. I think it was after this video. Yeah. Man. I'm not gonna find it. Oh well. But anyway, if I find that, I'll post that this week in the Discord. That is pretty cool, and it looks like computer parts. But yeah, I think AI was involved in this war on Mars, and you know, it's the evidence of there just being a war and total destruction is just everywhere. But at first I thought these were rocks behind it, but they literally look like they come up and attach like this is some sort of robot. Let me clear his rotation real quick. Make sure I'm on the right one. Rotate Z 90 degrees. Oh no, he's already turned? Oh yeah, he's already turned. That's what this thing looks like, and that's why I called it R2-D2, I swear. All he needs is one more leg coming out in front, and then these to actually come up the side so he can, you know, pivot forward like that. That would be R2-D2. Put a little light here on his front, a little red light, and then the blue lights that were, which side was it on? I think it was on his right side, the little blue lights, you know. Holographic projector right here. Yeah, that would be R2-D2. But that's what this thing looks like, and you can Now this is in Eevee, so the glass won't look as transparent. Let me see if I can put this in cycles. Let's see if it's gonna really chug down. It shouldn't, because yep. Now I'll go to rendered view. Let's see. Do I have enough light paths? Nope. Gotta add some go to my light paths. Yeah, transparent has 8 bounces. Volume should be up to 4. Oops. Well, that went quick. No. It's still a little dark. Maybe I made the material too dark, but you kind of see through it. And of course, I can go to shading and lighten it. Hang on, I'll get it fixed here. Oh, let's point to it. But it should be pretty dark because we're not seeing completely through it. Which one's my transparent? This one. Right? Nope. This one? Nope. This one. Okay, why isn't it? Oh, man, I should have it. There we go. There we go. Now it updated. But you should be able to see through it kind of like this. That's what it looks like anyway, is that it's very transparent on the dome. Right here is the dome. So let's set that back. But I have it at 0.58. Oh, apparently all I had to do was move it and it would have updated. But yeah, there you go. Now let's come back to layout. Yeah, you can kind of see through that. That's kind of what we're looking at there.
Daddy,
The whole
fix the floor.
war with the AI is so
I found
alarming. Make me think
it.
Battlestar Galactica. Oh, you definitely. Alright. You broke it.
No, that was
The plastic fork. Be careful, don't stab yourself with that. War with the Cylons. Yeah, definitely. My goodness. Well, yeah. In fact, Chris has talked about that. You know, those 2 bright flashes in the 1940s. Now, following Brandenburg work, I can't remember. One of the disasters was 300 million years ago, right? And yeah, I think the evidence that he was looking at from the nuclear, the fallout that was left is like 300 million years old. But that doesn't mean that there wasn't some cataclysms more recent. And I don't know, you know, Brandenburg's a nuclear physicist, so on his timing, I don't know how accurate that is or whatnot. But, you know, he's a nuclear physicist. I'm definitely not going to argue with him. If he says it was 300 million years old ago, then it was 300 million years ago. Davros. Said, have you heard about Davros? What's... I'm not sure I have. It doesn't sound familiar. I don't know if you're asking me or Lynn or Ricardo. Hey! Please tell me you didn't unplug my mic. No? It looks like it's still on. What did you yank out? Anyway, hopefully... Is the audio still going? Let me check. My daughter just went running. And, oh, yeah, oh, gosh, it's way up high. Oh. I didn't realize it was so loud. It hasn't been clipping? Okay, let's see. Alright. Testing. 1, 2. Okay, there we go. I didn't realize it was so high. Has it been clipping at all? I thought I had it adjusted right. But yeah, I don't doubt you, Leslie Ann, that it happened. I don't, and like I say, that may not have been the only disaster that happened. Mars is the god of war, so there might have been several major battles on Mars, and right now, I think what's going on is a battle for resources. I think that resources are scarce. Now, I don't believe that there's no water at all or anything, because nothing would survive. But I believe that there's not as much water. There's not as much vegetation to provide food. There's not as many animals, especially large animals on Mars. And I believe that they're trying to gather as many resources as possible to survive, and there's probably battles that are major battles that are breaking out over resources. Davros, global changes. Okay. So Davros is a company, or that's a... Oh, okay. Audio is fine. Okay. I would just want to make sure it wasn't clipping, because I was just checked the meters and I was like, oh, okay, that's pretty high. So good. I'm glad it didn't clip. Okay. But this object right here, and I may not have this exactly right. I'll tell you why. I modeled it as a 6-sided cylinder, which I thought went all the way up, and we just couldn't see this. But if you look at this now, it looks like this is cylindrical behind it, and then it actually has an extruded edge around here possibly. But then you have this that's in front of it, and it might be attached to the side. These might be attached. That comes down into an almost arrowhead shape, and then we either lose it by this, whatever this is, rock or object right here. We lose it behind there, but the part that you can see does seem to follow the same shape of this side. So it might come up in this kind of curved triangle going up. So I may not have this piece right. I'm not sure. I do know that the sides are flat, and I can see edges along those. And I can see these extruded ridges here. So I know this part's right. And I made these smoother than the other object because they actually looked like they were a little smoother. And then this one has another one of those, what looks like a see-through dome on it. And this one's a little harder to tell, but check out this line. This line comes through the glass or whatever it is. You can see it through there, and you can see the white coming through. This looks like I say, the glass or transparent aluminum, take your pick. If it was glass, you think it would have broke when it fell over. If it fell over, what am I pointing right here? Oh, that's what I forgot to do. I forgot to bring up my pin tool. Where is it? You gotta put it in a folder because you always have to go back to your downloads. There we go. I forgot all about my pin tool. But anyway, you can see this. Well, actually, this line you can really see going through it. And this line you can see going through it. They're faint lines, but they're actually going into the glass or whatever it is. And then there's a piece that's right here I could not make out. Take a look at it though. It looks cylindrical going this way. And then, this is extruded out. And then it actually, hard to tell, but it kind of looked like it has a dome on the top right here. Like this is a top piece for something. It'd be a cylinder, then the edges, it goes up, then the edges bevel extrude outward, and then you have the top piece and the dome that sits on top. That was harder to make out even than this one, I guess, because the light material. Oops, I got that in front of my. Ooh, I didn't mean to full screen that. The parts do indeed seem interrelated. Yeah, exactly. Like all this is one part of something. Wow. Hmm. Yeah, Leslie, and I was halfway between whether this was metal or this was stone. This one definitely looks metal. Check out the reflection on the top of it. But this one is darker material, and you do get some reflectivity on the top still. But when you look at the side, see how this one's real white? And this one kind of has a stone texture to it. So I don't know if it's polished stone or metal. And then you got this piece right here, which I did get modeled. Once again, that looks darker and looks like stone. And then you got this piece that's actually right here. It's halfway obscured by this cubic piece right here. All right. So I don't know. And then there's more that was off the image. In fact, I looked at the whole Gigapan. This was the most fascinating area of this Gigapan. I didn't have time to put into the whole Gigapan. Like I say, this week I am so far behind on the backroom stuff. I had planned on the latest to start filming this week, but the control room and stuff. What's that? What is that?
I don't know. I'm asking you.
That's the Michelin Man.
Thank you.
Oh, what are you doing? Some sort of puzzle or whatever? And you asked Leslie Ann, could it be a rocket? Believe me, I've thought it. Like I say, that's why I think if it were a rocket, this would probably be aluminum oxynitride or transparent aluminum. But I mean, yeah, because like I say, we're using it now in the nose cones of missiles. It's a great material for the sensors to be able to for the sensors to work through the material, especially cameras and stuff like that on some of these missile systems. They can see through it, and it's strong enough to where if anything impacts it, it's not going to shatter, but yet it's not too strong to where when the missile actually impacts the target it's looking for, it will shatter. Ricardo says the backroom stuff is pretty cool. What is that Martian burger made with anyway? I put a little thought into it, not a whole lot. Don't think I thought this through completely. But
Don't ruin the burger for me.
Oh, okay. You might want to leave for this part, dear.
Don't ruin
The burger was for her, by the way. She ate the burger. Well, I ate the steak.
How was the steak?
Oh, it was delicious.
What was it?
I don't know, but it's the same meat.
What if it was human?
It was delicious.
You like eating humans?
Yeah, but no, but I did put a little thought into this. Chris, Joe, both of them have pointed this out. Remember that video Chris did where it looked like a crater or the side of a hill, and it had these little rodent-like creatures that were like frozen in time. They were escaping something, and they were all coming out the side of that. It was either a small crater or it was just the side of a hill. I don't remember exactly. And I thought about it. I said, you know, we've seen small creatures on Mars. In fact, Dave Gannett did was it? Yeah, an X3D of that. I call it the Martian Anteater. I did a video on that. I think it's called Mars X3D Finds or something like that, where I actually modeled that, and it's got little feet coming out. We've seen small creatures all the time on Mars, and I thought, if you ever watched the movie Demolition Man with Sylvester Stallone? Remember when he's down in the sewers in the underground and somebody is cooking something, I think it was hamburgers, in fact. Anyway, what was her name? Hugsley? I can't remember what the girl's name is supposed to be. Anyway, she goes, do you know what you're eating or something like that? And he says, yeah, a hamburger. And she says, do you see any cows around here? And the lady in Spanish says, es el carne de ratón. And she goes, she said, and he says, I know what she said. He says, but it's delicious. How come? Oh. Ooh. Right under the XYZ top right corner. Oh, I'm sorry, I missed something. What did we see? Lynn Peterson. Shafting gear. Okay, I'm gonna move this very slowly. I'm sorry, I missed that somewhere in the chat. Okay. Is it right here? Because it definitely looks like something right here.
I love you, Mommy.
Oh, why did I not see that? I guess I pressed sidetrack. Yeah, I remember that scene. Yeah, I'm sorry I missed your comment, Lynn. That's what I was looking for. You're talking about shaft and gear somewhere. Okay, here's the. And then. Where was it about? Top right corner under the XYZ. So hopefully what you were talking about was somewhere in here. Now there's this big shaft right here that's this piece here. Oh, it looks like I need to make that one longer. Scale 1. Looks like I didn't make it long enough. Right here. And I don't know what this thing is, but this is it right here. And it's got this what do you call it? Space right here. It kind of looks like one on this side, and this shading on this side it does. So I did model it. Not sure if that's accurate. And then on the underside, let's see. Let's see. Yeah, the 3 seashells. Last week. Yeah, they never did explain the 3 seashells, but I'm not sure. We needed the exact spelling of that. But by the way, that was another thing I was thinking about. The 3 seashells. I literally thought about that for this backroom stuff. Okay, there's not a lot of trees on Mars, which means probably no toilet paper on Mars. So, for some of the,
hands.
I'm not using my hand. But anyway, for some of the backroom stuff, for some of the behind the scenes stuff of the backrooms, I thought about, what do they use for toilet paper on Mars? And I thought about that scene about the 3 seashells where it's so funny. He goes up and cusses at the what is that thing? The morality statutes thing. It always spits out the morality statute. John Spotton, you are in violation of whatever the verbal morality statute. And I thought about, okay, what would they use for toilet paper on Mars? And I thought about the 3 seashells, and I said, I am not using my shirt.
Let's try out.
And which brings up another thing of clothing.
I tried
And
Ricardo hi,
oh, did you? Well, he said hi earlier.
and I tried saying hey back. I don't know if he read it or not.
Oh, I didn't even see your response on here. I'm on the live. I'm not on Top Chat. I'm on my.
Well, I've been commenting here and there.
Oh, I'm missing a lot of stuff.
For example.
All right. Well, you can tell me on here, and I can look it
I don't
up.
remember.
Oh, okay. So I'm missing comments left and right. I'm trying to do 4 things, and I'm not 4 things at once, and I'm not exactly good at this. Let's see. Okay, there was this cube here which has a slot in it also. See that right there? So this is kind of what we modeled for the. Oh, I never did show the actual model right there. So that's kind of what we got there. And if you look at the bottom, it's actually got this extruded edge in this square part at the base. So this is another piece. Sargon Avocado did an excellent breakdown of that film. Why dystopic? Very dystopic and disturbing potential future that
Okay,
Klaus Schwab seems to want for us all. Yeah.
right here, underneath Leslie.
Okay.
I said, "Are you sure you can read? It seems like you're having trouble."
Talking about me?
Yeah, when you're trying to say that big word.
Yeah.
And then.
Hey, I'm a truck driver. We're not used to using big
And
words.
then right here I said, "Hey Ricardo," and then again it said, "Don't start showing off now," because you were talking about how you know stuff like glasses 1 point whatever.
Well, I only know because we use glass shaders to make them accurate.
And I just saw
I don't know stuff. I don't know anything.
I just saw these comments right now. I didn't show
Let me
them.
hide this one. Okay. Anyway, I didn't show this part. It kind of looks like.
Hi Leslie. Sorry I didn't see your comment.
Kind of looks like there's a cube in the middle of this, which is what I put here, and then these little tines or whatever that stick out actually connect to it. Can you see that in here? But yeah, that's kind of what that piece looks like. I got distracted, so forgot to show that. Yeah, that's what I was going to ask you, Leslie Ann. You're talking about the moon and us returning to the moon. And I know you've mentioned this several times about, they're not going to let us go back to the moon. What are your thoughts on that as far as what's going to happen when we start sending those astronauts, those rockets and the astronauts to the moon? Have your friends kind of give you the hint like they're going to blow it out of the sky? There's going to be some sort of catastrophic failure? Or, and it's a serious question. I'm not making light of it. That's awful if they, actually have to do that to protect their moon, because I'm pretty sure it's their moon more than it is ours. But, what do you think that they are going to do to prevent us from getting to the moon. I mean, because obviously, you know, NASA is talking about going back with the Artemis project, and Elon's talking about using the moon as a launch facility for Mars. Yeah, right, Ricardo. That was the point I was getting at. You said if we were warned off the moon, then perhaps there will simply be some sort of tragic accident that NASA will have to tell us happened. Well, yeah, exactly. And that's my point is, you know, if they don't want us to go back to that moon, and they're as technologically advanced as we assume or understand that they are, because they're definitely more advanced than us if they're living on a small planetoid with no atmosphere, and they have vast facilities and even domes on the surface which have been seen. I mean, they could basically do what they wanted to keep us from going back to the moon. So that's why I was asking. I mean, seriously, something is going to happen. Maybe to be something as simple as they'll just make sure that our financial system collapses to where we can't afford to send anything back up there. Or maybe it will be they just make sure there's plenty of technical issues in the craft that it won't even get off the ground, or maybe something as bad as it blows up on the way to the moon or something. Okay, you said they will not hurt them. They will stop them by using telepathy and taking over their mind and trying to... Okay. Yeah, I was just curious because, yeah, like I said, you know, there's actually several places where they've talked about, you know, we were warned to stay off the moon. And I know with this Artemis, it is Artemis, right? Yeah, Artemis project that we're planning on going back to the moon in the next, what, by 2030 or something? I think it was 2030, maybe it was 2025. Something was 2030 and something was 2025. And I'm like, okay, what's going to happen if we actually try to return to the moon? Oh, yeah, I would imagine either way, it's not going to be good for us. Either, like I say, why aren't the materials coming? Oh, it's going to take a minute to load the materials. Like I say, something's going to happen. Like maybe the craft just won't work. The rocket will fail or something will fail. Yeah. Oh, I'm in camera view. Yeah, this, like I say, is the this will be, and I don't have everything done for this yet. I did put the tables in, but this will be the what do you call it? Canteen. I was gonna say cafeteria, which would be correct also, but call it the canteen. Anyway, I just want to show you. This is actually real tech. I meant to bring this up. This is actually real tech that's being tested, and I'll bring that up here in a second. Now, I'm not gonna be able to see through the gel unless I go into cycles. I don't think. Let me see. Am I on cycles? Let's see. Yep, it's in cycles. So I started loading up this gel material with food products and stuff. And like I say, for the behind the scenes stuff, this stuff is in here for the behind the scenes stuff. These are just simple models. Now I'm going to turn off the gel. Oh, I have to turn off the whole refrigerator. I forgot I joined it to it. But okay. But this is in the backroom stuff. Okay, we can go out of... I just want to make sure we can see through the gel. But I hope Walmart doesn't mind. But I
How to
quickly modeled some
daddies?
what, sweetie?
How the cat closed it?
I don't know. I closed it, not the cat. So I just modeled these real quick. This will be for the behind the scenes stuff. I haven't put any cans inside. I'll definitely put some cans inside so you can't see. But I think through the gel you're not going to see it anyway. But and then these are supposed to be like Martian sodas. I don't have any labels made for these yet. These are like the Martian soda bottles here. Ah, okay. Remember the canteen scene from the movie. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I haven't figured out what to do about putting drama in this one, like another entities, either the same one or a different one. And I'll talk about this when I get the video. I'll talk about it in the actual videos. This fall was harder than the last one. And the last one I landed on my side. This time, because I fell backwards when he scared me, and you hear the rocks crumbling underneath, I actually slip on the concrete. That's that concrete tube, and I fall backwards and smash my head pretty good.
No surprise.
But you got to get ready for work, dear. But anyway, but I, by the time I actually passed out from the last. Oop, I bumped the mic again. I actually supposedly passed out from the last one, and that's why you see the camera kind of just drop to the floor. I'm holding it in my hand, and then after I lose consciousness, I just kind of drop it, and it falls to the floor. So this one's going to start out actually. Oh, well, let me do this first. It's going to start out in that room that I landed in. Okay, so this is how this refrigerator concept works. So I got this, and the doors open. Oops, I went too far. Well, I'll make sure they stop in the right place. Let me get at the right angle here. But yeah, these doors will open and close like this. And it's got that nice, hey, nice fluorescent or LED lights here to open it. I think that's what I'm gonna go with, is putting my hand on the panels here, or at least get your hand close to it, like it's a sensor that picks up, and when you do, it'll open like this, and then you'll be able to access stuff in there. Another thing I didn't get to show. Click on that. What is that? No, Ricardo, I didn't really get injured, but in fact, I had Jenny film that part. No, that was in the first one. I had you film me when I fell. Yeah, not for the second one. No, I didn't actually get injured, but supposedly, remember, the entity is right in front of me. Well, I hear him breathing behind me. If you listen, especially with headphones, you can hear the breathing get louder and louder as he gets closer behind me, as the wall's being pushed back. And as I turn around, I'm standing right there where that conduit goes down, and I turn around and I'm standing with my feet on the edge of that, because I back up because he's right there, and that's why you kind of see the camera pan upward, but you'll see it kind of actually, I think I zoomed it in. I can't remember, but anyway, I'm supposed to be standing back on that edge, and then you start hearing that gravel start to fall, so which is me slipping, and then the camera's in my hand, and it actually I'm falling backwards with my arms. Well, you can't see it in there. Hey, girls, stop, or go to the living room. you see my arms, they'll actually go all the way out to the side. Well, you can't see it on there, but all the way out to the side. And that's why the camera's looking at that concrete from the conduit. But no, I didn't really get injured. Yeah. So the point was, I was like, well, do I use the same entity, or do I model something else that would be on this level? Because the engineering level really should have solid entities, or stuff that can manipulate solid objects. And those smoke-like entities, I'm not sure, would they solidify to do that or whatever. Just weird ideas I'm coming up with. This is a sink that I modeled. You're not really gonna see this in the video. You'll see it in the background. I thought I was clicked on it. What happened? There we go. You're gonna kind of see it in the background, but I want to try to get the right angle here. So it's got this nice, almost looks like a Kohler, one of those faucets by Kohler. All right, y'all go to the living room. Y'all are too loud. Go play in the living room. Okay, Aurora, y'all go to the living room, sweetheart. And I didn't model it from a Kohler. I actually started with a cube, or was this a cylinder when I started? But it might have been a cube, and I just put a subdivision surface on it. Please, anybody else have ideas? Please come. We are all equal here, ladies. About what? But then I don't know if you touch the top, put your hand over it. If it's a sensor, you just put your hand around it. I know what those Kohler automatic ones, they have a sensor right about where you put your hand. Go to the living room. Stop whining at me. Go. Okay, she just wants to stand there whining, saying her sister took her ice cream, and neither of them have ice cream. Now she's gonna cry. But then the water comes out from here, and goes down and angles down towards the sink. But yeah, they came out pretty cool. And then the material. All this material is procedural. I didn't use any image textures. I actually modeled this procedure. But and all of it, the food, everything, because I could have taken images of actual food on Earth, but I was like, well, I want to make something. In fact, the only image that's not procedural, that's an actual image texture, is the Mars bar. And oh gosh, it helps if I click on it. There we go. And this is some sort of vegetable, like a potato that grows in the ground, but I don't know. The wife asked me the same thing. Well, what is that? I said, I don't know. Some sort of potato that grows on the ground, and they cook it and eat it. Well, where do they get French fries from? I said, well, I don't know. I don't have all the answers. And the colors look a little weird right now because I have the lighting off. But those will be a little bit more brown, and the meat looks really red. And then this is the sauce underneath. But all of these materials are procedural. The plates. I wanted to model some blue. Okay. All right, honey. Thank you. So blue and red, like plastic plates, something that wouldn't get broke because resources are limited on Mars. And I thought, well, what's better than plastic? And I was reading one of the papers, one of the actual news articles. Where was it in? But anyway, all the ingredients to make plastics are there because they're talking about what materials they're going to make these habitats out of, and if they can use in situ materials, that's less that we have to carry with. You just bring the parts that they propose bringing parts for this giant 3D printer, and it would convert this material and make plastic out of it, and then make these plastic domes. Maybe they... Well, right, yeah, but, the vegetables, Leslie was talking about the vegetables. Maybe they do have potatoes. I wouldn't doubt it. potatoes would naturally be protected from the radiation or anything else, even though we see that those huge tomatoes or gourds are above ground. If there is as much solar radiation as NASA proposes, then I don't know if those would be edible, but potatoes would be protected because they're under the ground. So I'm pretty sure, in fact, one of the plant videos that Joe White at Art Alien did was on some of these plants, and it looks like they have roots that go in the ground. He showed that one where the root was coming out by the rock, and I'm pretty sure that some of these are actually some sort of vegetable or fruit that grows in the ground. So, yeah. But how do they get potatoes? I don't know. And maybe you're right. Maybe they do have potatoes on Mars. And like I say, I put a lot of little pieces of fat in here as if this steak was formed from small rodent-like creatures. So that's what it was. Because like I say, we haven't seen any evidence of large animals still alive on Mars. But the same thing with the... Here's your hamburger, babe.
Wow.
I even put cheese on it.
You said double cheese. That looks like
I did. Let's see. Can I remove... I think I joined everything together. Hang on. Let me tab linked and grab on the Z. There you go. Double cheese. I told you, double cheese.
You know, one's supposed to be on the bottom, not on top.
Really?
Yeah. That's a double cheeseburger.
All right. When I get time this week, I'll move the cheese to the bottom of the burger.
Yeah, I'm sure you will.
Okay, so I messed
Don't
up.
mind me. I am very picky how I put my cheese.
Yes. Well, to do the cloth modifier, I had to use a cloth modifier to do the cheese. Oh no, the cloth modifier didn't work because I already have keyframes in here. So I had to use a shrink wrap modifier, and I just shrink wrapped a plane. Well, I subdivided the plane about 50 times. Let me go back. Oops. Tab.
I like Ricardo's answer. Isn't it funny how your McDonald's never looks like the picture when you get it?
Exactly. But anyway, these are two planes, and if you look, they're subdivided a lot. It was actually 50 times subdividing these for each piece of cheese, which added a lot more geometry, which slowed my computer down a lot more. Oh yeah. Now Leslie Ann says I've seen big insects and bird creatures. Now I do know that other cultures do eat bugs, and bugs are very nutritious. Believe me, depending on how many behind the scenes videos I get done for this one, I thought about having a like a bug, some sort of bug, not entree, but like one of the side dishes or something would be some cooked bugs or something. And for the actual shot that we're gonna do inside the canteen here, in the video itself, not the behind the scenes, these will be moved, but there'll be a wall placed right about here, maybe a little farther out, so that I can cover up the grill stuff that I need to get modeled this week. Because in the behind the scenes stuff, when we are going to be sitting down eating, I want a grill in the background with somebody back there cooking, a Martian. But I don't know how to model my Martian yet. I thought about making him very humanoid, but obviously I want him to look Martian, but very humanoid, very human-like. But this will be one scene. Now this one out here, you're not going to be able to see how dark it actually is. Oh my gosh, I need to click on something. Give me that. There we go. But one of the scenes... Oops. Am I at the back already? Oh, yeah, I am. One of these scenes. Now this is very dark in the rendered view. Can you see how dark it is? Let me just turn on the lighting. And the only light in here is going to be the camera light, which I actually have attached to the camera. Let me turn the spotlight on. Go to light. Right now it's at 0. I think it's 50 watts I had set it at. Let's see. Oh, I'm not in camera view. I was like, why isn't the spotlight working? Alt 0. Yeah, couldn't figure out why the spotlight wasn't working. Yeah, do something like that. Ricardo, he said you could use the scene of the woman making those rat burgers in Demolition Man. Yeah, something very similar to that. I wouldn't use the actual scene. I'd probably get in trouble for that. But I would definitely model something similar to that, and then just composite in the live action part of the person, of the actual person. Everything else could be modeled except what they're holding in their hand, stuff like that, because even though I can attach 3D models to live action, it's a lot. It's not hard, but it's time consuming. So it'd be easier if I could have an actual object and put in their hand, like a spatula or tongs or something, But this scene will be very dark, and you're looking down the hallway here, and the only light is coming from these windows. Ooh, excuse me. Let's see, I'm in camera view. Let me oh, come on. There we go. Okay, so you've got the light that's coming out of these windows, and you can actually see the light paths as they come across. It's going to be better if I do an image. Could I save an image of this? Let me see real quick. I was taking so many pictures, I probably did. Let's see, go to... Okay. Oh, let's see. Let me just bring this over so we can see it. Okay, we can take this out of... My computer's starting to get hot. Yeah, I'm on a laptop. Oh. Break room, control room, control room, control room, doorway. Here's my Dr. Thunder. Hallway, here it is. Is this the final on this? Well, not final render, but at least... Okay, now you can get an idea of how dark this hallway is. But you see these lights coming through these windows of these rooms. And this light that's right around here is a spotlight that I attached to the camera so we can see down the hall a little bit. And the floor is concrete. I added a noise texture to it to make it look a little better. Even Chris and Joe saw these in craft. Yeah, on the windows of some of these buildings, I modeled some of those. Some of the moon videos. I haven't done a moon video lately because obviously there's not a lot of new stuff coming out on the moon, and we've had a lot of stuff going on Mars. So I want to go back and do moon videos. I do like doing those, but there's just not a lot of new information unless I do something from some of these observatories here on Earth, where they're looking at the moon. That would be an idea. Oh, no. I am still alive, right? What? Okay. What are you recording on? Okay, well I don't care about it recording on a computer. Okay. It should be going to my hard drive, but it just told me that there doesn't seem to be enough space left on my computer to record. I thought it was going to stop the live stream. I was like, no! But okay, we're fine. I don't care about the recording because YouTube's recording it anyway. What was I looking at? Oh. This is not about... Yeah, 3D stuff is great. Yeah, definitely. Said go back to the old stuff. Yeah, I made, there's that the boat videos, and the one I called the Cheyenne Mountain of Mars, which is the second part to that other boat video. Now that I know how to do stuff in GIMP, Photoshop, and DaVinci a lot better, I'm really thinking about going back and redoing those, because those I could do a lot with those. That one that I call the Cheyenne Mountain of Mars has that, like, it looks like a early 80s car, like a Lincoln or something, sitting in front of those they look like glass doors that, you know, big double doors that you open this way, and then there's these concrete, these cinder blocks basically around that, and then it's dug out, and you see the pile of dirt over just in front of the car where they actually dug out there, and somebody, I think, is there, because that car is not covered in dust. It's a black color, or a dark color, either way. I think it was originally a black and white photograph, but it's a dark color, and it doesn't seem to be covered in dust. So it makes you think somebody is still up there and at that bunker, whether it's us or whether it's them. I'm not sure which one. Oh gosh, all the phones are going off. I hear the other ones. What is it? Child abduction?
Yep.
Corpus
Texas.
Christi? Where?
Rose, Texas.
Rose?
Groves.
Gross? Grose?
Grove.
Grove? Where's that, around Houston?
I don't know. 4-year-old black male.
Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, Grove
4-year-old.
was on your phone too.
We had a child abduction in Texas.
We got action.
Grove, I think.
Yeah.
It's Houston.
Groves.
Yeah, Groves. Yeah. I don't think it's Dallas area. And it's definitely not out this way. Groves is probably Houston, Beaumont, something like that. I think it's around Cypress area. Cypress on the northwest side of Houston. Don't you think some of these so-called NASA rocks go a long way in the Earth? If I understand her question right, yeah. Well, NASA goes a long way to make them look like rocks. I can tell you that. I'm not sure they're rocks. What are you doing?
I need you your wallet.
Why do you need my wallet?
I need money.
Oh, what happened with cashing your check?
Huh?
Did you ever cash your check?
No, we never went by to cash it out.
Oh, here.
The neighborhood
I'm gonna-
market doesn't have a money service.
Oh, well, you should have told me that's what you needed to do.
Why do you think I suggested them with this super center?
You didn't tell me why.
Do you ever ask why?
Abductions, not good.
Alright.
Yeah, especially those My Lab abductions.
I gotta go.
They're not good.
Love you.
Love you too. My sister was pretty sure. Well, at first she experienced an alien abduction.
The very first time it happened, she was in denial.
Well, yeah, she was in denial, but I'm talking about the abduction when she finally got to the point where she would talk about it. Was the first one was probably an alien abduction. They were more gentle and everything. And then within, what did she say? It was less than an hour or something after she got back from the one. She had a military abduction. And they were questioning her. What did they want? What did they put in you? What, you know, what this and that. They asked her a bunch of questions. And she said, I didn't tell them anything. I didn't tell them nothing. I was afraid to tell them. And so she didn't answer them. They basically wanted to know, what did the aliens want? Why did they take you? What did they stick in you? Because she thought she might have, or they thought that the aliens might have placed an implant in her. She says, I didn't tell them anything. Finally, they got so frustrated, she said, they brought me back. I was like, oh, okay. Yeah, right. Well, in my experiences with that were all positive. I didn't. I was taken, you know, obviously without my consent, but it wasn't anything malicious, and you know, mine were all pretty positive, except when I banged my head on the damn, on the yeah, they had these archways on the ship. And is it these glasses that still have the crack in them from when I did that? It's so small I don't even think about it. Well, yeah, the crack is still here. But anyway, you're not gonna be able to see it here in the dark. But anyway, the only negative thing that happened was after I'd had a few experiences like this, they used to put their hand under my arm and, you know, guide me along, if you will, when I'd get up to the ship to take me into what I call the exam room. And after a while, you know, when they come and get me and they get me up there, I know where I'm supposed to go and everything. So they'd come out, but they would just let me walk on my own. So we're walking, and there's this kind of long hallway, and down at the right on this hallway is the room. Well, these rooms don't have doors, they just these archways. And when I get up there, I'm kind of in a daze because, number one, when they take me, it's early in the morning, and like 2, 3, sometimes 4 o'clock in the morning. So, and plus I think the go no, you're too loud. Go. Anyway, it's 2, 3 o'clock in the morning. Plus, I think the whole process of beaming you up there basically is it puts you in a daze, basically. So we're heading down this hallway and turn the corner. Now, one of them is on my left, and the other one's walking just behind him, and I'm walking to the right. Well, we're walking side by side, and so when we turn to go into the room, there's the archway, and somehow, in my daze, I drifted too far to the right, and I mean, I banged the crap out of my head right here. I mean, I just walked straight into it, and my glasses have this crack in them, and it's right at the frame where the frame meets the glass. There's a tiny crack about, I don't know, what have I got to show you how long it is? That's not going to work. But anyway, it's tiny. It's a couple of millimeters long, basically. And there's a chip in the glass, and my head was bleeding from my eyebrow. In fact, you used to still be able to feel the chip in the bone. I don't know if you can feel it anymore, but I mean, I just walked straight into it. No slowing down, no nothing. And anyway, so this table okay, I was going to show you the phone is still attached. Anyway, when I get to the table, like this is, if I don't drop it, this is the table right here. Let's see, make sure I'm in the camera view. And it's on this pedestal, and it tilts down like this. All right, let's see, turn it with the lights on. And then they lean me, back against it, and then they tilt the table up, and there's this energy field or whatever that's up there. So anyway, they bring me into the room, and before they can do what they need to do, they need to fix my eye. So the one, and there's 4 of them in the room, but the 2 usually come out and guide me into the room and whatnot. But anyway, so the one, and I call him Jeff. They don't have names there. They haven't given me any names. So I call the one Fred, and I call the one Jeff. And so Jeff goes over to the table to my left, and he gets this thing that looks like a pin. And he grabs it off of there, and he goes to turn it on to heal my eye, and I turn my head to the side. It's about the only thing I can move at that point because the energy field holds you in place. And he says, no, this is going to fix your eye. And anyway, he fixed my eye with it. It felt like a warm, just some sort of warm, tingly feeling when he did it. And there's this red beam that comes out, and then it just healed my eye. I don't know how it works, but anyway, so they get all that done. After they finished doing what they were going to do, they brought me back to the waiting room, what I call the waiting room, and and then they sent me back down to the house. And one of these times, like I was talking about, I think last week, they it's weird when they lower you down. Excuse me. You can see the inside of your house, but you can't see any walls or ceiling. And I don't know how this all works, but the walls and ceiling are gone. They're transparent. They lower me down just above the bed, and the dog is sleeping on the bed. And they drop me onto the bed, because they usually lower me about a foot to 2 feet, someone like that, above the bed. And then they turn off the beam. The walls snap back, and the ceiling snaps back. And then I dropped the rest of the way. But I landed on the dog, and the dog yelped, woke everybody else up in the house. Everybody was awake, asking, what happened? And I'm in a daze. I'm like, I don't know, I think I landed on the dog. But the next morning, this was probably about 4 o'clock, so I got up at 6 o'clock, go to the bathroom, and as I'm standing in front of the mirror to wash my hands, I see the scar down my eye, and I'm like, where the hell did that come from? And then without thinking or anything, I said, oh yeah, I banged my head on the ship, and I went back to bed, never thought about it. By the time I got back up at about 8:30 in the morning, scar was gone. I still had blood on my hands, by the way. No, I didn't. When I washed my hands, I washed the blood. And that was the other thing I know. That was what it was. It's been years ago, so it's hard to remember. But I had the blood on my hand from where I'd wiped my eye and put my hand over my eye, because as after I hit my eye on the beam, I went like this, you know, and I'm holding my eye like this, and I'm in pain, and I got my glasses up over my fingers like this. But anyway, there was blood all over this hand when I went to the bathroom the first time, and that didn't even dawn on me until, like I said, I looked at my face in the mirror and I was like, where did I get that scar? And then without thinking, I was like, oh yeah, I banged my head on the ship. Went back to bed, didn't think anything else of it. Got back up at 8:30 in the morning, and once again I went to the bathroom again, and then standing in front of the mirror once again, and I looked and I'm like, oh my gosh, the scar's gone, and it was completely gone. So I don't know. Yeah, they have a sense of humor, yeah. Yeah, oh, I told the wife, I said, I bet they were laughing their ass off. Look at this human, he can't even walk straight, you know, or something like that. And after I got off the ship, they're probably up there going, did you see him clock his head? That was a pretty hard hit, you know, or something. I was like, yeah, they're probably making fun of me. Yeah, I'm going to be the joke of the galaxy here for a while. Or at least the solar system, I don't know. But, anyway, getting back to, I'm going to be coming down one of these corridors. It's going to be dark and have the camera. When I come out of the room with the conduit in it, which I think is this one. Let me go back to the model. I could tell you, but one of these rooms. Oh gosh, I got the focus. I was focused in on stuff in the cafeteria. I'm not gonna. I probably need to change it. Where's the focus distance? Camera. Yeah, I'm on camera. Huh. Where are you? There you are. Distance. Okay. Alright, now everything's a little more in focus. That way you're not blurred. But yeah, like I say, which room has the conduit in it? Should we open this door? 'Cause I can't see the ceiling. Let me see. Let me open this door and see. Oops. The wrong button. Oh. Let's try that again. Helps if I hit the button to open the door and not the extrude button. I was gonna say open. Does this one have the conduit in it? Nope. Not that one. Close that door. Which one did I put the conduit in? Let me look through the glass. Okay, that's the break room. Okay, oops. Clipping through the wall. Oh, okay, one of these have the conduit in it. But anyway, that's where I'm going to start out in here. And then I'll start heading down the hall. Now, the room is lit, but when you get out in the hallways, these hallways are dark. So, and I want them to be dark to give that kind of ominous feeling to them. He said, I think we've all had experiences, Leslie Ann, in our lives. Told you scientists could listen to us, but they don't. Yeah, well, I think, this is just my thought on this. I think publicly they make us out to be lunatics. But somebody is actually gathering information and researching this stuff and doing this. So I think that some of them are under the table taking this information seriously. Look at what NASA just announced. That was another thing I wanted to mention. I think I got it up on one of those. Is that NASA has announced that they are going to study UAPs now. Now, why would NASA care about UAPs? Or UFOs. I still like to call them UFOs, but everybody calls them UAPs now. Okay. All right. I'll be done in a little bit, sweetie. NASA, why would they need to start researching UAPs? You know, I think that secretly that they actually do listen to us and want to study us. That's why you got to be careful who you tell, because you don't want them to start coming to you and using you for one of their secret projects. So, like I said, my sister, she didn't have any pre-knowledge that she was going to get taken twice in one night, especially. So this was the first time that she knows about that she was taken. And once again, this is about 7 years ago. We haven't had anything happen in the last 2 years. When Alara was born was the last time we've seen or heard from our friends. So I don't know. Yeah, exactly. I'm frightened of losing power. Exactly. But okay, that's where I'm headed in here. Let's see. I gotta get to the control room. I need to use the top-down view. It's a little easier using the top-down view. Okay, camera. Oh, I know what happened. Okay, let me turn off the... Okay, that's on. There's so many things in here. Okay, let's turn that off. Is this it? Turn these on. Ah, yeah, that brought them back. Oh, no, wait a second. That brought some of them back. Where else do I have them turned off? I need to move them. Oh, no, they're in there. Okay, let's move our camera. Well, we don't need the camera for this. Let's just go... Alright, so it's behind me. Okay. Camera to view. Yep. It's pretty bad when you forget your own layout in here. Okay, but that's why we didn't see anything in here. Is I had it turned off. So, we can open this door. Try to hit the right button. Come on. Which way to open you? There you go. Okay. This is going to be the control room where I'm going to find out that they've basically seen every move I have made in this place. So some of these monitors have images on them already, but I'll definitely... Whoops. Come on. Definitely have to take some more images and put them on these. But yeah, I modeled all these damn dials. Well, there's only 3 that I modeled, right? This one, and this one. And then I just put an array modifier on them, and then oh, camera's still out of focus. Well, it's because I'm close now. Let's go back to camera. Okay. Come on. Where's the focal point? There it is. There we go. That should be coming into focus. There we go. Of course, I could just turn off depth of field for now instead of adjusting. Let's turn off depth of field. That'll make it easier. But yeah, I modeled 1, 2, 3 dials and just duplicated everything. But this is what this room looks like. And I got all these machines along the walls. Let's see. Can I click on one? And all these big levers and stuff, just for this scene. I actually just modeled one, and then I mirrored it to the other side and set array modifiers. It's a lot of fun. So for one of the short videos, and I hit the mic again, I'm going to be standing, leaning against one of these, talking about filming, you know, for that day and, you know, our progress basically on this. But yeah, this was pretty fun. This is what took so long, is getting all these monitors and these blueprints. Let's see. Oops. Yeah. Why can't I click on the blueprints? Anyway, I was going to show you. But all these blueprints I made, I don't know if they're anything accurate. Don't care. It's just a what do you call it? Background stuff to fill the background. But I made all these little things and made some diagrams. I was like, I could take images of diagrams. I said, but yeah, they might be copyrighted, so I don't want to just use somebody else's work. I'll just make my own. And these images that are behind us were just for modeling. They won't show up in the render. I got the render layer turned off. But I took all these images of actual power plant control rooms. Let me get rid of the camera. Alright. I don't need to be in the camera view. But I have them on all the walls. Ugh, keep flipping through the wall. There's one on this wall. Hide. Hey, said hide. Oh, thought I had it. Oops, I know what I did. Okay, you. Hide. There we go. So I took images of different control rooms, power plant control rooms. This is the one I modeled the switches off of. So I noticed they had some red switches, some black switches. I haven't modeled this type of switch yet, and I don't know if I will. Let me get rid of that. Get rid of the top-down view. So yeah, that's why I modeled those switches off of. And then for the background machines, I think I used the one that's along the other wall.
Daddy, someone's at the door.
Someone's at the door.
He got medicine.
Oh, tell Grandma. Tell Grandma medicine. Which one was it? Okay, I took part. This was like the monitors and stuff. And then must be this one, where the machines are along the back wall. Well, tell Darian. So there you go. Here's some of the machines. And it looked like they had these angled tops on them, so I angled my tops on mine. But yeah, this has been fun, but I didn't expect it to take this long. No. Alt H. That's not right. Tell Darian. Hang on just a second. Darian, she said somebody's at the door. I'm in the middle of live right now. Medicine or something at the door? She thinks it's medicine. Huh? Well, she said someone was at the door. I don't know. I don't know if they are. Okay. Sorry about that. So. Yeah. Well, where I'm supposed to be, where I supposedly no-clipped into the back rooms, is supposed to be that area on Mount Sharp. It was what was the name of it? Was it 1272 was the sol. I can't remember what the area is now. Oh my gosh, that's bad when you can't remember. But anyway, so over there by Mount Sharp though, and so we're near a lake. So I'm pretty sure there was water in the area and whatnot. Yeah, definitely. Yeah. Well, I think there's, and this is what kind of got me thinking about this. Well, I was doing tutorials that week on different things, how to, better ways to model. I love whatever his name is from Default Cube and CG Matter. It's kind of the same channel, but he focused on different ways to model in Blender. I was doing those tutorials. I love those, and one of them he did was on the backrooms, and I was like, I could do a backrooms video, but put a twist on it. And I'm like, well, I do Mars stuff anyway, so I just said, I do the Mars stuff. And I had so much fun doing that first one. It was just going to be a one-off. Excuse me, a one-off. And then I had so much fun doing it. I'm like, yeah, that really was fun. Obviously learning how to do more stuff than just my basic modeling that I normally do for videos. It was great doing that, but the filming and everything was just a lot of fun. I was like, yeah, I really like this. So I said, all right, I'll make another episode. Well, while I was making that episode is when I started coming up with, there's so many levels to the back rooms. I forget how many thousands now the lore has grown to. And I thought, well, shoot, I can't just have one level. I have to have more than one. So that's what had me come up with this. And I thought about that towards the end of filming the first one, so I had to quickly go. Oh, I keep banging the desk. I had to quickly go back and model just something real brief for the second level where I fell to the second level. I was like, yeah, okay, what kind of wall texture do I want? Because it can't have the same texture. It'd just be like being on the same level. And so, I don't know, it just turned into, I was like, okay, now I have to do a third one. And I didn't mean to take this long, but there's been so much Mars stuff coming out. And I was like, okay, so I started doing this. In fact, this one right here, you know what? I'm going to exit out of this. I just wanted to show you what we were working on for that. Open recent. This one right here, I was really trying to get this video out this week, but modeling all that stuff and the control room took the longest. Now, this stuff in the break room was, it took some time, like the faucet for the sink, trying to figure out how I wanted that to look, how I wanted the refrigerator to look, because I just said, well, I need a refrigerator in here, but I didn't want just standard technology refrigerator, because I want it to look like something that you'd find on Mars. In fact, okay, let's use this one. I want to show you, this is the actual gel refrigerator. Images. But I didn't know how I wanted stuff to look exactly. But I knew on the refrigerator I wanted something different. I was like, okay, what can I do? Okay, this is, oops. This is called a zero energy bio refrigerator, and this is that gel. See how he's got the apple? Okay, let me get rid of this. And he's sticking it in this gel, and the gel does not stick to the foods and stuff. It's not supposed to stick to the foods, although I think I'd put my food inside like a Ziploc or something and put it in there, because I don't know if it's a biogel, but still not sure it's something you want to eat. But if you just type in what do you call it, gel refrigerator, it will come up. So, and it's new technology, but it hasn't been produced commercially. They're still testing this, as far as I know, right? And I love the name, Inhabitat. But yeah, these are your different views of it. And you just stick the stuff in the gel and it suspends it there. So I knew that that was what I wanted for this. I saw this article, I don't know, a while back, but it was cool technology. Hopefully the guy can get it worked out. That would be cool. And it's supposed to be zero energy. The gel requires no electricity, which I'm not sure exactly how that works, but it doesn't require electricity. The only thing the electricity for is for the display panel, because I read the article on it 3 days ago, because I was like, okay, let me make sure I understand their technology pretty well. But yeah, it's a real thing that they're trying to develop. Yeah, all right. Let's see. Did I forget anything? We talked about the helicopter. That's sad. Hopefully they can work out the problems with the helicopter and the insight. We're losing both the insight and the ingenuity. Makes you wonder if it's something we're really losing, or they're just telling us that so they can start them on private missions. Yeah, Ricardo. That refrigerator, I thought that was cool technology, and like I say, that was why I decided, oh, that's what I want in the break room. So, there's more stuff in this photograph, by the way. Making some of it out was a little difficult. Like that piece there. That looks like it's cylindrical with these little cylinders. See, 1, 2, and maybe one's on this side. And throughout the Gigapan itself, but I was trying to get this out quick and get it back to Shokri, and once again I probably butchered his name, but I want to get back to him and see if this is what he thought he was looking at, and so that I could present it correctly. Yeah, like Leslie Ann said, they like to take stuff that's good and weaponize it. And yeah, I'm sure there's going to be attempts at a lot of this stuff being weaponized. And that's the thing. Joe mentioned this over at Art Alien, that all these artifacts and stuff. When we start sending people to Mars, the first ones to go, of course, are going to be military and scientific personnel, and they are going to loot and rob all of this technology, all of that. I mean, they're going to take as much from this planet as they can, and of course the goal will be to weaponize it. Oh, thank you. He said it's amazing work. Well, it's coming along. I still have some, definitely some texturing I need to fix and whatnot for that. But I'm hoping to at least start filming this week. The heck is this piece? That looks like a piece. Comes, straight up. This side is very smooth. It actually tapers down. But then this side, excuse me, has something sticking up. It goes across. You know what it looks like? It looks like an old Polaroid camera from the back. This is the eyepiece that you would look through. The front of the Polaroid would be here. This is that part that kind of sloped down on the back. And then the little button was over here. on this side. This kind of looks like a Polaroid camera from looking at it from the back. There's your eyepiece. Tell me that doesn't look like one. Oh, yeah, exactly. That's what I was gonna say. They're gonna wind up just like in Raiders of the Lost Ark, where that warehouse, that private part of the warehouse where you couldn't go to. Yeah, exactly. It's a little longer, going depth-wise, but that's what that looks like to me. But yeah, and I didn't load up the full Gigapan, but yeah, I'm gonna try to get into this week. I need to get this out because I took a picture of this piece and sent it back to him, but I hadn't modeled all these pieces yet. What? Really? You want some? Y'all are too young to be drinking soda. Alright. But yeah, so I'll hopefully get this video out. I mean, it's just recording the video and then editing it. And I need to take a half a day because that's about what it takes to get everything edited right. Girl, I'm trying to do a video here. But hopefully here in the next day or so, I'll get that done. And the news segment. There's so much Mars news that has come out. I really want to do that. I didn't build that model for nothing. It's just time. There's not enough hours in the day to get everything done. And it's like all these projects, and these are side projects. These aren't even, the main stuff should be this Mars stuff. And yet the side projects are starting to back up on me, and I need to get them out. It's like, oh gosh, I need like 4 of me. Maybe I could just clone myself. What was that movie? Was it called Multiplicity? Where he clones himself, and then his clone clones himself, and then his clone clones himself. And they get dumber going down the line, and each one clones themselves because all the work gets put on them, and then they're like, well, if I just clone myself, then I won't have to do all the work. So he just clones himself over and over and over again. First started looking again at these Gigapans, I saw so much like our lifestyle. Oh yeah, Leslie, exactly. A lot of this stuff we see on Mars, it amazes me. It looks like stuff that's here. Now there's 2 thought paths behind that. One, we're even now more connected than our government would like us to believe, and there's an information transfer back and forth. Or number 2, we live in cycles, which is more what I believe. Well, actually, I believe a little bit of both, because I believe they're talking with somebody on Mars, whether it be our own military that are secretly there, that are not actually there. But there's this information exchange. Either way, whether it's something we carried in our subconscious memory from generation to generation, and we have built cars that look the same as cars on Earth. No, not exact, but pretty much close enough. I have that one video where I show you what really looks like a diesel engine next to some other piece. I don't even know what those 2 pieces are, but the one actually has the shape of a diesel engine. That was not very long ago. I mean, so engines that look like engines we'd have here on Earth. Boats that look like boats we have here on Earth. Structures that look like structures we have here on Earth. Who is it out here? In New Mexico, actually, not here in Texas. was it the Anasazi, Anasazi Indians, the cave dwellers basically, that built these structures into the size of cliffs, and they look like structures you'd see on Mars, and that's all over there in New Mexico and a little bit in Arizona too. I think it was the Anasazi that did that. Not exactly. No, yeah, I think it was them that built structures in caves, and we see the same thing on Mars, and yet we'll believe that here on Earth, well, not we believe it, we do believe it, but NASA won't believe that we can build stuff like that here on Earth in the far past, but there can't be life on Mars, so nobody could have built this stuff on Mars. And it's like, but you see the evidence, and it looks like artificial structures, and yet they just turn their nose up and say, nope, it's a rock. So that stuff just, it always gets to me, how strange rocks can look on Mars. It is another planet, I do get that, but well, those rocks look very symmetrical. Well, that weather on Mars is very strange. It can shape
Hi,
stuff,
Daddy.
some pretty complex structures. Hi, I'm recording. Go play. But yeah. But, all right, I think I'm gonna have to call this one a wrap pretty soon. Girls are definitely getting hungry. That's why they keep coming back. Are you hungry?
Yeah.
Yeah? No?
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's about time to feed them. You guys got any ideas or anything? Yeah, you want to share or anything?
Yeah.
I'm not talking to you. I know you want to share. She wants to share her stories. Anything interesting or going on?
I want her story.
They would kill the real
Mommy
Martians.
wants her story. Who wants her story? Daddy wants her story.
Well, yeah, and that may be,
Mommy wants her
Leslie Ann, I don't know, but
And I
it
want her
it could be that they're keeping us from Mars also. But I don't understand. Well, not that I don't understand, but somehow there's an information exchange between Earth and Mars. So maybe they don't let us go there, but maybe in our past we have rovers on Mars just like we do now, or some sort of AI on Mars, and you know we were able to steal some of that technology, because everybody talked about, you know, ever since the early 1900s we've had this technology boom. The other thing is, now this is part of what I believe also, is that we came from Mars. We have seesawed back and forth, and at least in this cycle we came from Mars and we brought a lot of that technology with us. Well, in our minds, we didn't bring the actual technology, all of it, but we did bring some. Remember at the end of the new Battlestar Galactica, where Gaius and Gaius Baltar, oh gosh, whatever her name was, they're standing there, and they're standing there talking, and they're watching. Basically, it's over, you know, thousands of years, so it's over millennia and stuff, and you just see technology just advancing, and she says something about, you know, it'll all begin again, and it'll all go the same way, and it's just a cycle that repeats over and over and over again. And I thought it was really kind of profound, but it's the stuff that, you know, a lot of us believe is that we just go in cycles. Something happens, like happened here 11,700 years ago. Everything gets destroyed, you know, and then it gets rebuilt. And we saw about that time, that's the younger Dryas period, right? Because the older Dryas was however many, 33, 40,000 years ago. I don't remember now. But anyway, I think that's the Younger Dryas period where the human population just bottlenecked. And then we found structures, not just Göbekli Tepe, but other structures that were buried right before this time. And then, the technology they must have used to create that had to be something more advanced than just copper tools and stuff. Hey, they're back. All right. But we're talking about the cycles of man and whether humans are on Mars or not. I don't know. I somehow there was an information technology exchange between Mars. Now, whether it's something we brought in our subconscious from the last time we were on Mars, or we've had information passed back and forth. Let's see. Yeah. You were saying that we don't have to destroy ourselves, Leslie Ann, and that it's common sense what higher beings have learned. But sadly, it all boils down to money and resources, and people with power want more power, they want more money, and they'll always fight over it. Now, like I say, on Mars, I think the end of it boiled down to just probably resources. Money was probably worthless at that point. And then it's just resources to survive and people just fighting it out, with whatever weapons and tools they could find towards the end. And there's still, I'm pretty sure there's still survivors nowadays because, I've shown them what look like survivors in videos. And it really looks like that scene from Star Wars at the beginning of Star Wars, the one with Rey in it, the first one with her, The Force Awakens. And, they're on Tatooine and she's a scavenger. She's trying to scavenge to get bread to eat or whatever that was. It looked like bread. All right, sweetie, I'm in the middle of something. And I think that's what's going on Mars. They're just all that old busted up technology. They're just trying to find anything useful that they can either trade for food, whoever's in control of what food there is, make trades for it. Try to, hopefully some of it's going to be to rebuild that society. Maybe one day they'll get their society rebuilt, but I don't know. Well, good. I hope they are protecting us. I hope you're right and everything, because, we still have wars, and you wonder how far they're going to let us go before they do step in. Just like they did with the nuclear weapons. Was that in the 80s, 70s or 80s when they shut the nukes down? I don't even remember. 80s? So hopefully they don't let us get too far.
You talking on Mars?
Yes, I'm talking about Mars. But all right, I think call this a night. The girls are definitely hovering around like vultures. You got to feed them every once in a while. I have found that out. At least once every couple of days you got to give them food, right? You got to eat every once in a while?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Surprisingly, you gotta feed them. I didn't know that came with the package. What are you talking about?
Package. Package.
Oh, the package. Yeah, say, Daddy, you gotta feed me once in a while. Say, Daddy, feed me.
And feed me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And
yeah, we try to feed him every 3 to 4 days.
4 days.
Are you copying me?
No.
What? You went up here too? Alright, that your sister, but I don't have room for both of you. Alright. Come here.
I know what.
Yeah. Oh. This one definitely eats every day. Now, Aurora, the one I just had, as y'all know, is 3 years old, and she is light. Alara is 2 years old. Are you 2? Yeah, you're 2. And is at least twice as heavy as her sister. She's a big girl. See, I'm a big girl. And she's almost as tall. But yeah, I think they're ready to eat. What? Okay, I'll pick you back up in a minute. But listen, you guys, you have a great, guys and gals. I always forget to say and gals. Guys and gals, have a great night. We're gonna go find something to eat. You're still copying me. She's over here mocking me. And we're gonna relax for a while, and then we'll get some rest. You are mocking me. She's even mocking me, saying she's mocking me. All right, we shall see you on the next one. How long did we go for? 2, 4, 5. So 3 hours. That's not bad. But, we'll see you on the next one. You guys have a blessed night. Been great to hang out. Oh yeah. You guys, I will. You know what? Tomorrow I will start with this before I do the backrooms video. I will get this one worked on, and then if I get done early enough in the day, I'll get back to the one we were working on, and because I got to get these out, and then I'll start back on the backroom stuff. All right, we shall see you on the next video.
I found my shoe.